I'm Shannon Seebohm and I'm the head coach of the Townsville Fire. The moment I knew I wanted to become a coach, came to me probably, a lot earlier than most. I was a professional player, and at the age of 19, I had a cardiac arrest playing with the South Dragons in the NBL, and basketball had kind of always been my passion, and it's what I wanted to do with my life, and I'd committed everything I had to trying to be the best player I could, and unfortunately that didn't work out, and probably after I guess trialing a few other career options after that, really came to the realization that basketball is what I wanted to do. And, I was living in Sydney at the time and just sort of decided one day that I was going to quit my job and try and get my feet into coaching. And, luckily for me, it's worked out pretty well. And, I'm very glad that I made the choice to get back into basketball. The proudest moments for me are just seeing some of the players that have come through here go on to, represent Australia and bigger and better things, and just see the people that have come in and really committed themselves to getting better in our program, being able to enjoy success and get the most out of their careers. And, I think probably the other moment would be the championship we won in 22-23. That was a really memorable season and a great group of players. And, I think I'll remember that group and that season forever. I've been lucky to coach, a lot of different players and some really great players. Probably two that come to mind straight away, probably Steph Reed and Courtney Woods. Both players that sort of came from, mid-major universities in America. Steph, had been in the WNBL, but probably hadn't reached her potential, at that point. And then, we were fortunate enough to get her to Townsville, and I think her energy and enthusiasm for the game was just, something that I thought was special. And, she obviously worked really, really hard, and she's, developed herself into a great player who's had a great career. And then I think Courtney's the other one who has kind of come into our program as a rookie out of college, and, she's played every different role, whether it's not playing, whether it's, starting some games because of injury, whether it's coming off the bench and, unsure of how much she would play, to now establishing herself as one of the best players in the league is, it's quite rewarding to see that. And, it's something that, not everyone gets to see all the hours those players put in, but obviously being here and seeing how hard those guys work, it's no surprise to me that they've gotten to the levels that they have, but, it brings me great pride as well to see that they've done it within our program, and we've been able to play a small part in helping those players reach the heights that they have. The year we won the championship, I think, you look back in hindsight and everyone will say, oh, we had Carly Samuelson and Tiana Hawkins and, all of these players. But I think going into that season, we weren't expected to do a whole lot. I think the betting and the, pre-season reporting and all those things probably had us on the borderline of finals, maybe 5th spot. And we didn't start out like we were a championship team either. So, I think after 9 games, we were something like 5 wins, 4 losses. And, I remember we had a 30-point loss in Adelaide on the road. And that was kind of like, I think we were 4-4 at the time. And that was like a pretty pivotal moment in that season. And, we had a double road trip. We went to Canberra and we eked out a win in Canberra, and we weren't playing great. And then after we got back from that road trip, we all kind of had a meeting and spoke about what we wanted the season to be from that point on. And, to the girls' credit, they really bought in, and, we started to play some pretty good basketball. We had some big wins, we had some close wins, but I think we rattled off something like 16 wins or 17 wins in a row all the way to the championship from that point. So, I think, we had some, obviously in hindsight, we had some very good players, but I think we were probably a little bit of an underdog team going into that year. So, that was a pretty good result. Success for me is, do we live up to our core values every day? You know, do we come to practice every day with the right mindset? Do we work hard? Are we good people? Do we get out in our community and, you know, go to schools and be positive role models for kids and, you know, behave the right way in terms of what it is that we're trying to accomplish? And I think if we do those things, then the success on the court, obviously winning games, you know, tend to sort of take care of itself. I think the advice I would give to someone that wants to coach at a professional level is, you know, be willing to give up your time, volunteer, go and learn from other coaches. You know, say yes when you start out, say yes to everything. If you're asked to coach Aussie hoops, do it. If you're asked to go and rebound for a player, go and do it. If you're asked to do the score clock for a other professional team, go and do it. You know, you can learn something everywhere, and I think if you want to coach, the more that you actually do it, like anything, the better you're going to get, you know, and surround yourself with other like-minded people that are passionate about it. And as I said, go and observe practices of professional teams, go and watch other coaches, and you'll be surprised how much you can pick up. If you had have told me that, you know, I'd be a professional coach and coach in the WNBL and have coached within the Australian program and done some of those things, you know, 10, 12, 15 years ago, I don't think I would have believed you. And, you know, I just feel so fortunate to have these opportunities, and it's definitely not something that I take for granted. I hope I leave a legacy of, you know, being a good person, being a good role model in our community, you know, impacting our players' lives in a positive way, you know, and just I think, you know, helping elevate the basketball in Townsville.